Objects of desire.
The sort of stuff that you dream of.
The New Inventors, tonight on Australia Network. Tuesday.
Do you guys want to see some cats?
They're big.
Good boy, there you go.
They're cute.
You sit here very early in the morning for your first feed.
And they're endangered.
Wow, this is just like in the wild.
Experience the excitement of the big cats. The Lion Man. Tuesday.
InSearch provides recognised courses that lead to university degrees. I didn't have difficulty compared with some of my friends who had not had the opportunity to study at InSearch. Going to InSearch built my confidence and my skills base. These courses are a pathway to enter university. The lecturers were professional and had great knowledge of the industry.
Wednesday.
Things are changing and it's a nice change.
Enter the world of India's education system.
It was great, look at this, it's great.
Follow their highs and lows.
Mom, no mom. And
their hopes and dreams.
like, big hug.
It's India's next generation.
It is survival of the fittest.
I'm definitely looking good in the future.
I feel great, I want to dance.
Experience Indian School. Wednesday on Australia Network.
When the paddle steamer Albury arrived here in 1856 from Adelaide, the local settlers thought a new age had dawned and a mighty fleet of Murray River boats would bear them to prosperity. There seemed to be room for optimism. The Murray River system, including the Murrumbidgee and the Darling, was one of the world's longest. It drained 1/6 of a mighty continent. It was and is our greatest river, our centre of myth and legend, our Mississippi or Amazon. But it drains the world's flattest and driest continent and weaves like a drunken sailor, taking 3 miles to travel 1 mile as the crow flies. Compared to the flow of the Amazon, the Murray is a gutter. Water from Albury takes 3 months to reach the sea. So it's not the most ideal river for navigation. And yet the Murray was the scene of a great shipping enterprise that developed huge tracts of country. For half a century, it was our major inland highway. The wool that made the country rich went to market by water. Barges like these could carry 2,000 bales of wool. And not just wool. They'd take away half a goods train's load of wheat. And they'd bring back anything from beer to Bibles, soap to circuses. The riverboat trade is what fascinates me most about the Murray. I think it was the most colourful era in our history. But you don't know what you've got till it's gone. These scenes are from the 1920s, but they're hard to believe now. The Murray River always presented problems as a navigation channel because of its slow and unreliable flow of water. But the major problem was an accident of history. The river had the bad luck to be a border between two colonies determined to pinch each other's revenue. And a great deal of revenue once flowed along the Murray. From the 1860s to the 1890s, Echuca was Victoria's second port after Melbourne and the biggest river port in Australia. About 200 paddle steamers a year unloaded their freight at this wharf, 5 times longer than it is now, and into the railway carriages that sped them through Bendigo to Melbourne. Echuca was spoken of freely as the Chicago of the South, even as the possible capital of a federated Australia. They were heady days, but Echuca had solid grounds for its ambitions. The port was sending away up to 100,000 bales of wool a year. This great wharf, 3 decks high and 3/4 of a mile long, had powerful hydraulic cranes, huge storage sheds, and hundreds of wharf labourers. Goods worth nearly $5 million were sent away to Melbourne by steam trains. But they signalled the death of the steamboats. Morgan is at present the most important South Australian shipping town on the Murray and will probably remain so until the deep-sea port connecting the river with the ocean is constructed. Over its long and fine wharf, which is equipped with Elswick hydraulic cranes, Many thousands of tons of wool, wheat, dried and fresh fruits, and general produce and goods to and from the railways pass annually. This was the railway superintendent's house at Goolwa. South Australia's first railway ran from here to Port Elliot, 7 miles away. And substantial buildings like the police station and courthouse were erected in the 1850s. Despite the problems of a sea harbour, Goolwa expected a great future. If Echuca was the Chicago of the Murray, this was its New Orleans. One of the few Mississippi-style stern-wheelers that ever sailed on the Murray was the Captain Sturt. It lies on the bottom at Goolwa now as a houseboat, its hull full of concrete. Perhaps it's the closest that the Murray came to the Mississippi, or that Goolwa came to New Orleans. Never again will ships like these ride 6 abreast at anchor in the Goolwa Channel. That sort of opportunity is gone. The colonial governments who could